Hello, my name is Katerina and this video is about making a will. We will talk about wills because as emotional as it seems, making a will ensures that your loved ones are taken care of and your interests are looked after. When you close on a piece of property, you're probably thinking about exciting future in your new home, not what would happen in the event of a tragedy. And you are not alone. At least half of all homeowners in Canada do not have an up-to-date will that outlines who will inherit your estate if the unthinkable took place. Do I need a will? There are lots of reasons for having a will, but the main one is deciding who will inherit your home if you pass away. A will is a legally binding document that outlines how your assets will be divided up in the event of your death. And since your property is very possibly your most expensive asset, it's important to have this formalized. In the will, you can give everything you own to everyone you wish. It's an opportunity and a privilege. Having a will can eliminate arguments, legal disputes, and even expensive court cases. Getting married instantly nullifies all previous wills, unless you have made the will in contemplation of marriage. Those will survive the ceremony intact. If you are considering marriage for a second, third, or even fourth time, you should discuss having a marriage agreement. In it, which assets belong to whom should be spelled out. Otherwise, various laws can override your wills. What happens if I don't make a will? If you don't have a will, there is a common misconception that the government will seize your assets instead of any instructions on how your property should be divided up. In fact, if you die without a will, otherwise referred as intestate, your property is distributed according to the laws in your province. In Ontario, the Succession Law Reform Act determines how your estate is divided up between your surviving relatives. In British Columbia, the Wills, Estate and Succession Act provides the same function. How does a type of homeownership affect my will? Having a will is a good rule of thumb for any homeowner, but there are certain types of homeownership that can leave you especially susceptible without one. Sole ownership. If someone owns a home alone and dies without a will, the property will be distributed to the beneficiaries under the Succession Reform Act. If you have a spouse, they will inherit everything. If you have a spouse and a child, your spouse takes the preferential share, and the residue, anything left over, is divided between spouse and children. Only if you have no living next of kin will your estate go to the government. Joint tenants with the right of survivorship. A common arrangement is when you own a property jointly, for example with a spouse. If one tenant passes away, it automatically passes to the other person. In legal terms, the first who passes away drops the title, leaving the previous owner still on the title, now solely. What happens to my mortgage if I pass away? Unfortunately, a mortgage does not disappear in the event of homeowner's death. Instead, the mortgage stays with the property, not the person. If your home is jointly owned, the mortgage passes on to another person who owns the property. If you own the property on your own, your mortgage is paid by state when you pass away. What are the benefits of getting a will? Even if your province's act covers your bases to some degree, it may not divide things up exactly how you want it to. To get specific and to give yourself peace of mind, a will is in everyone's best interest. With additional fees and paperwork to contend with, it can become stressful and expensive for loved ones if you don't have a will. How much will it cost? A lawyer-drafted will may cost you somewhere in the region of $400 to $1,400 in Ontario. However, it's not necessary to use a lawyer or notary to get one. Online wills can help you quickly create a will and the power of attorney. Elsewhere, will kits provide a one-size-fits-all scenario. A good option if your estate is straightforward and you don't need to add any additional clauses to your will. Planning a will is difficult, but it will ensure that your hard work over the years will be of benefit to your loved ones. Thank you for watching, and please love life, and life will love you back.